Hello, Bold Goal Crushers. Welcome to the final episode of the Bold Goal Crusher podcast for this year. I'm your host, Sarah Mayer, and I'm truly excited to spend the next little time reflecting on the wins, the lessons learned, and even the pivots that shaped this year, not only in the podcast, but in my business. So, whether you've been tuning in all year or maybe you just found this podcast, I want to thank you for being a part of this community because goal crushing isn't just about the big wins, it's about the small, consistent steps that we take that lead us there. So today I'm going to take a deep dive in all the things that made this year such a transformative one for my business and also my personal life. If you're somewhere cozy, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee and take a moment to journal alongside me as I reflect. So let's celebrate some of the wins. I jotted some down and maybe it'll even inspire you to reflect on your own journey this year. All right. Did you get your journal? Because I'm a big reflection girl. All right. Now that you have it, let's get started. So, the first one is business milestones. This is truly the year of growth. So, I want to start off by talking about the incredible milestones in my business this year. I really feel like this year was a turning point in so many ways for growth, clarity, but most importantly, impact. So, first up, the launch team. If you've been following along, you know that one of my biggest projects this year was launching Launch Team. And wow, what a ride it's been. Launch Team is something that I truly dreamed up after working with so many entrepreneurs who felt overwhelmed by the tech and strategy behind launching their offers. I knew that I have a really great team and we could help support that. And I wanted to create something that felt like an extension of their team because some of these entrepreneurs are sole entrepreneurs and launching really shouldn't feel like you're doing it alone. So, from strategy and tech to execution, Launch Team took off in ways that I hadn't even anticipated. It's been incredible to see the transformation happening for my clients. And I can't wait to see how this program evolves next year. So, little plug, I promise I won't sell a bunch on this podcast, but if you are launching something and you need a team to support you in the strategy, but also the tech, check us out. Launch Team's where it's at. Next up, Black Friday and those holiday deals on that busy weekend. This year marked our biggest Black Friday sale ever. I went into the season with a more intentional plan than ever before and really honed in on my what my audience needed most. But I made a lot of offers and you all showed up. So seeing those results roll in really felt like such a confirmation that I'm on the right path creating offers that truly resonate. And as for that Black Friday weekend, I actually didn't just do a weekend. I did the 12 days of deals. And this was something truly fun. This was like a project that I thought about for a while and to see it roll out and I brought a different deal every day to my audience, to you, and the response was amazing. I love seeing all the engagement from the community, and it truly felt like a great way to give back and celebrate the progress we've made together, but also to offer something different for every person so they could truly grab what they needed. Now, as we talk a lot about business on this podcast, affiliate sales is a quarter of my revenue. I'm going to say that again. Affiliate sales was a quarter of my revenue. And this was something I wasn't truly expecting or planning for. So it's a bonus, but it makes up 25 or more percent of my revenue. And this didn't happen overnight. This was by consistently aligning with products and services that I believe in and actually use. And I've been able to grow that revenue stream significantly. And it's a reminder that sometimes diversifying your income isn't about doing more, but about being intentional with what you already use. So I started talking about my tech stack and what I already used and showing people how to do that. Things that were super simple for me were able to then bring in revenue. All right, what else do I have on the notes? Oh, another big shift for me this year was working with more one-on-one consulting clients. As a fractional COO, I've had the honor and privilege of stepping into businesses to help streamline their operations, build out strategic plans, and provide the kind of support that helps entrepreneurs step into their next level. So I've loved diving into the behind the scenes work. There's something so cool about helping someone else's vision come to life or maybe looking at it from a different angle. So, seeing my clients' expertise breakthroughs has been one of the most fulfilling parts of the year. So, I challenge you to really look at what were your successes this year. What are you going to jot down in your journal today? Next up, I embraced change this year. I sunsetted the live component of the book club. And not every decision this year was about adding something. One of the most significant shifts was deciding to sunset the book club. I read a lot. Like you can see, if you could see over here, I have a stack right here of all the books that I'm going to read. And for those of you who are part of the book club and founding members and big cheerleaders, thank you for being on that journey with me. It was such a great way to connect and dive deeper into personal and professional development. But as my focus shifted throughout bigger projects, I really knew it was time to let it go. Sometimes we hold on to things because we love them and they feel familiar, even when they no longer align with our bigger goals. So letting go of the bold goal crusher book club allowed me to pour energy into launch team, my clients, and new offers where my business was headed. So if you're listening and you've been thinking about letting go of something in your business or personal life, this is your sign. It's okay to close chapters and make space for new ones. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to review books on the podcast. I'm still keeping that part of the book club. And if you want to see what books I'm featuring on the podcast, I will still post those on my website because so many great books out there that we can learn from. Let's talk a little bit about personal wins and growth because let's shift gears. So, this year wasn't just about business. I made a point to focus on some personal growth too. So, one thing that I'm really proud of is building a daily meditation practice. Hasn't been perfect, but I do meditate daily. And I admit I don't use Headspace every day, but I do recommend it. Check it out. I've found ways to make mindfulness a regular part of my life. I do use the Peloton app as well for meditation. And there's truly something special about starting the day with that stillness, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And I've noticed it's helped me stay more grounded, less reactive, more present, and I can go on and on. And of course, I can't talk about my personal life and wins without mentioning Parker the boxer pup. She's just been a constant source of joy. And I don't know if you heard her just crying about 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes ago in this episode. That was her because she wanted a treat. But the downside is that Parker had a really near death experience this year. She was in the emergency vet for 2 weeks. They didn't know what was wrong with her, and in fact, they called me to have her put down. And when I arrived, she had just had cardiac arrest, she had received CPR, and her kidneys and liver was shutting down, and I just quite simply asked the vet for one more day. I don't know what happened, but she made a miraculous recovery, was on, like, 14 pills when they sent her home, on a feeding tube. It was a whole thing, but she's still around today, and I just couldn't imagine her not being here. So, I'm very thankful for her. All right, lessons learned? No, I have another personal win. Let's talk about my personal win with a nonprofit that I founded. So I did found a nonprofit. Oh, I don't know what year that was. And I have talked about the Joyride Society on here. And if you haven't heard of it, it's a giving circle. We all donate a certain amount of money per month and or year, and then we give it back to the community. And so that nonprofit saves a portion of the money for what we call Dream Fund, so a bigger capital investment. And this year I applied to have the money go to build a school in Guatemala. And we decided we would do that. And the school broke ground in November. And I'm so excited that we were able to do that together. That's something I could have never done on my own. And to be able to do that with a group was a huge win this year. All right, let's see what else. Lessons learned. One of the biggest lessons I learned this year was that progress doesn't always look like hustles. As someone who likes to keep moving and keep growing, this year I realized that sometimes the best growth happens when you slow down and really reflect and reassess. I learned to embrace goal setting strategies that go beyond SMART goals long ago. I've never been a big fan of SMART goals. They felt very limiting. So I explore a more robust framework that allows for flexibility and more big picture thinking. And this has been a game changer for me for years, but also for my clients. And so I'm looking up over here if you're watching on YouTube, because when I look at my vision, which I don't think I have in this book, I have it. It's not really a vision board, it's more of an action board, but it has visuals. So some people call it a vision board. So I have one copy of it. I print the copies and then put it together up over there. But I also put it in my planner so you can see. And anyway, I'm looking at this because I accomplished a lot of the things on my action board, but I also made steps for the things that are going to take more than a year to accomplish. And that's really what it's about, dreaming those big, bold dreams and then taking steps every year. And so that's something that I did this year. And I found a way to get those things done. So I'm truly proud of everything I accomplished this year, the changes I've made in my business. But as I look ahead to the next year, I'm excited about what's to come. I'm learning lots about who I am and where I want to go. And I'm leaning into that growth, obviously expanding Launch Team even more, expanding my consulting services, making more offers to help people, and continuing to find ways to serve you all. So I challenge you to take some time this week to reflect on your year. What are you most proud of? What do you want to learn? And what are you letting go of as you head into the new year? Now, if you're looking for a resource for yearly reflection, don't worry, I've got you. So if you go to my website, sarahmayer.com/free tools and resources, you will find a yearly reflection worksheet. You will also find some resources on setting vision boards, a theme for the year, and resolutions that stick. So feel free to check those out. Those are all things to help you accomplish your goals. So again, that's sarahmayer.com/free tools and resources. And I hope you will check all those things out. Now, I know you are all wondering what's up for the new year. First off, I have a process that I go through every year. And I haven't gone through it yet. I'm doing it tomorrow. I saved my entire day to go through my process, to get my big calendar and do all the things. So thank you for being here, supporting the podcast, and for allowing me to be part of your journey. I can't wait to see what we accomplish next year. Now, let me let you in on a little secret. If you want to be a part or learn about my process, I'm happy to share, and you're going to get an email about it. So make sure that you download one of those free resources. So when my process comes out, which will be next week, you're invited to take part in my New Year process. All right. I can't wait to see what we will accomplish together next year. Until then, stay bold, stay brave, and keep crushing your goals.